You know, as we constantly and consistently watch the West take a bunch of L's socially, ethically, morally, you know, from drag hour with kids to people forgetting how many genders there are. I mean, all these issues we're seeing that are happening in the West, and just the consistent social and moral decline, which is leading obviously to the decline of the society on a whole, because it can't be the case that, you know, a society is going to decline socially and not decline, you know, economically and, you know, technologically. Also, as we see this continue to happen, we actively start to understand that Islam is the answer. But we have a problem, and that's that Muslim countries aren't really keeping up technologically, economically, unless they're like, you know, oil-based economies, you know, petrochemical-based economies like Saudi and, you know, other Gulf countries and whatnot. But otherwise, Muslims are kind of falling behind. And it's not because of Islam, obviously. You know what I think? Just my opinion. You guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong. I'm just, you know, hypothesizing here. We saw that Islam and the Muslims were superior for quite a long time. Hundreds, if not thousands of years. The problem is that was hundreds of years ago. But there's nothing to prevent us from having the superiority today that we had back then. Back then, the Muslims would basically conquer, not always with war, obviously, other cultures and societies. And what they would do is the Muslims would absorb other cultures and societies, and it would leave that uniqueness to that particular culture and society, to those people. What made them unique and special stayed that way with those people, right? Well, nowadays we have this like Islamic superiority complex where it's like, you know, certain groups feel that they're better than others just because they were born Muslims or this, that, the other. You know, we come from this culture, we're from this lineage, we're like this, we're these people, we're this color, we're this race, we're this ethnicity. And so they think they're better than everybody else. And it led to stagnation because now this specific group thinks that they're better than everybody else. And so they think that they're the gold standard to Islam. And since they think they're the gold standard to Islam, that they should dictate the way that the Islamic world goes forward or backwards or left or right or here or there. And I don't think that's necessarily true. I do think we can take Islamic knowledge from other cultures. You know, some are more advanced than others, like Arabs. They have an advantage because Arabic is their language and Islam is the religion of Arab. So they have an advantage, clearly. But I don't think that makes them better than anybody else. And I think if we leave this idea and we leave the individuality of every culture alone, as long as it doesn't contradict with Islam, then I think we'll relive a golden age of Islam and Muslims. Because then we get the best of all the cultures that don't contradict Islam, and the best of the minds of each culture, as long as they don't contradict Islam, and we come out on top. This is what the West has done. The West has absorbed the best of everybody. This is why they come up with the whole brain drain thing. Well, why doesn't that work for Islam and the Muslims? We shouldn't be ashamed of it. Why would we want anything but the best amongst the Muslims? And I think that's what the Muslims used to do. And that's why we used to advance in warfare, advance in science, medicine. You know, we were the leaders, the Muslims. And now all of a sudden we're not anymore. Because, well, I don't see anything wrong with greed in the sense as long as you don't hinder or, you know, withholding or stop anybody. You know, I think that's what's happening. People became fearful of their position. They stopped putting their tawakkul on Allah. And they were afraid to be outshined. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Tell me what you think. I think if we go back to that system, taking the best of everybody and taking the best of what everybody's got and making sure that that best stays within the framework of Islam. Because, you know, I mean, nobody was trying to look down on Bilal. Nobody was trying to look down on everybody else, you know, amongst the Sahabas who were absorbed into the, you know, into the fold of Islam. No, the Muslims back then, they took the best of everybody. And today, everybody's like, I'm the best, instead of looking for the best. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comment section. Man, Abuamerican.